Good morning, everyone. My name is Karthik. I'm pursuing my BTech in VVIT. I'm from CSC branch. Today, let us discuss about communication via Java, in which server and client are participating in communication between them and client. So, in order to connect server and client, there should be an endpoint so that there is an endpoint for server and also an endpoint for the client, which both are connected. For a server, the server socket is the endpoint, whereas for the client, the socket is the endpoint. So we need firstly we need to create a server socket with a port number, and we should wait until the client machine accepts the connection. Let us just understand the server. So here we connected the server socket with a print stream, whereas print stream allows the server to send the data to the server socket, and the server socket will eventually sends the data to the client side. So this what happens with the server side. So when coming to the client side, there is a client socket which takes the input from the server socket. As we see before, there is an output stream and there is an input stream here. So the data which is given by the server socket is taken as input here. So we used input stream, and the socket takes the input data from the server socket, and this socket will read the data from the server socket into the client. This is how a communication between server and client is happened. Let us see an example so that we can understand easily. Firstly, let's write the program of server side. I'm taking a new class called server side. Here we need to write the server side program. As the first step is to create the server socket. Let us create the server socket first. We have class called server socket is equals to. So as an argument, we need to give a port number, any port number. Let us take 777. So we created a server socket. It actually raises an exception when this port is not available or the connection is not established. So it throws an exception. So after creating a socket, we need to wait until the client accepts our request. So we know that in the client side there is a socket. So we need to create an object called socket. Socket is equals to ss dot accept. So let us write a just a print line so that the connection is established. So after creating a connection between the server and socket, we need to create a print stream. Let us take print stream ts equals to. So as we seen here, the print stream is connected to server socket, and the server socket is connected via output stream, where this output stream is connected to server socket client side. So let us create new print stream and also new output stream, not out, new output stream, s dot get output stream. Uh, Here we actually covered the whole print stream, server socket, and output stream. So we actually did the connection part in the server side. We need to write a message from the server to the client. So let us write a message called ps dot println, something like hello client. So after doing this step, we should close all the connections. So we need to close socket and also server socket along with pin string. So up to now we completed server side programming, where we firstly created a server socket, and we waited until the client socket accepted our request. We printed a message so that the connection is established, and we took a print stream where the print stream is connected to output stream. Print stream is connected to output stream, which eventually sends the data from server to the client. So we did s dot get output stream, and we send a message called hello client with the println function. After that, we closed all the sockets and the print streams. We have completed writing our server side. Let us write the client side program. I'm taking another class called client side. Firstly, we need to create a socket. So let us take a socket. So the socket must consist of, if we are using another machine like another computer, it should be the IP address of that computer. Whereas if we are using the client and server in our computer, we should take a local host. And we need to mention the port number we gave to the server side, which is 777. So after creating this socket, it also throws exception. So after this, let us see here, input stream is connected to socket and the buffer reader is connected to the client. So let us take a buffer reader. Br equals to new buffer reader. We need to connect input stream. So buffer reader only accepts the readers. So let us take new input stream reader and get the input stream. So we completed, we connected the input stream to the socket and the socket to client via buffer reader. So buffer reader only takes the reader classes. So we took an input stream reader and we pass argument as we get the get input stream method. We got the input stream. So after this, we need to display the message sent by the server here. So let us print the message. Let us take it in a string. Buffer reader str1 equals to dr dot readline. So after printing that, we need to close the connection. So let us close buffer reader, the socket. So this will complete our client side. Let us see again. We created a socket which has the host, local host, since we are using the same machine, and the port number which we given in the server side, which is 777. And we also took a buffer reader since the socket is connected to client via buffer reader, and the buffer reader will take an input stream reader as an argument. So we created a new input stream where we got the input stream to the socket via s.getInput method. So the entire communication is completed here, and we need to take the message from the server side. So we created a string called str1, and we took the input from the server to the client by using br.readline method. So this method will take the message given by the server to the client. So we just printed that method, that message. After that, we closed all the connections and the buffer reader. We have completed writing our server and client side programming. We need to run them. I am using command prompt to run them. So let us go to the location where we stored the programs. So I have created in this location. Let us go to there. So in this side, we run the server side. So Java C space server side. So in this side, we run the client side. So they have been compiled. So let us run them. Java space server side. We are not getting anything here since we haven't started running the client side. Client side need to accept it first. So just after we run the client side, we can see something called connection established, as we wrote here. We have wrote connection established here. Actually, this need to be this need to be in the output, but we haven't got since we haven't started running our client side machine. So let us run the client side. So as we see here, the connection established, and the message from the server is printed in the client side, as we see here. Hello client is written in the server side, and we got that server side the message into the client side. So that's how we created a communication between the server side and client side. Before we have learned how to connect server and client, let us connect Java to database. So we can connect Java application to database easily just by following these steps. The steps are: first we need to create a driver class. So the driver class provides a method called forName. which is used to connect to the driver. And next then we need to create a connection. For that we have get connection method from the driver manager. And after that we need to execute the statements like create table, select star from table, etc. And we need to, and after the execution of the query, we need to close the connection. So this is how we can connect the Java database. So for that we need to first import the jar file. So for that I am writing in this folder. I need to add that jar folder or drive folder. So by clicking Ctrl Alt Shift, we need to go to modules, and we need to export MySQL connector. It is actually present in the C drive. Let me show you. It is in the program files 86. See, we have connector here. We need to import this jar file, which is a SQL connector file, into the Java program. The method of importing this file is different from different IDEs. In my IDE, it is like this. It is already imported. So let us write the program. Let us take a class called JDBC. Firstly, we need to create the driver. We need to register a driver class. For that, we need to use the method class forName method, as we see here. forName method from the class called class. So we need to import that. We can use that as class dot forName. So in this we need to register the driver, which is com dot mysql dot cj dot JDBC dot driver. This is the driver name. It throws an exception, so let us write exception. So now we have just registered the driver class. We need to create the connection. So for that connection, we need to take a method called getConnection from the drive manager class. So for that, let us take a connection. Connection con equals to drive manager dot get connection with name JDBC MySQL, which is my server, MySQL server. Localhost port number 3306 / and the database name. So I'm using the exam server switched on both the exam, my Apache server and the MySQL server. So in the MySQL, I have a database called programmer. I will use that. So let us type program here. So in this, after this, we need to give the username, which is root, and the password. I don't actually I don't have any password, so it is a empty string. So after that, we need to create the statement. We already completed a get connection method. Now we need to create the statements. So for the creation of statements, we need to take statement class. Statement equals to connection dot. We need to create statement. So create statement. So after creating the statement, we need to execute that query. The queries which are executed will be in the form of result set. So we need to take the result set class, result set rs equals to statement dot execute query. Like let us take select star from program. So we need to print all the data values in the result set. So while rs dot next rs dot getInt method will uses the column number, whereas the getString method it will use the column label name. I'm taking the getInt method, getInt of 1. Let us take 1. After this, we need to close the connection. So let us close it. So we actually did every part. Let us run this. Actually, the first column is string here. So we need to take rs.string and we can take the column name index. So after executing this, we can see the output. We got the names. As we can see in the database, let us see the database here. The programmer table, we can see the first row is a string. So we need to give the get string method. So all are strings except the last one. So we need uh, in order to show multiple columns, we need to give like this, like rs dot get string of column number 2 and also rs dot get string of column number 3. So this will eventually gives the first 3 columns. See, as we see here, we have three columns actually. So in the database, we can see that Anand and the date of birth and the date of joining, we got all the 3. We can also skip other columns like rs dot get int of. Let us see which number of index it is. 7th one. So we can directly print the salary by skipping both the gender, profession and profession 2. So after executing this, you can see that the salaries are also printed. So this is how we can connect the database. We can also just execute only selected queries. This is how we can connect the database to via Java. We can also do insert operations, delete operations. Thank you.